Get ready for a cinematic showdown on Film Flashback Face Off. Join Richie, Jim, and Carl as they transport younger hosts Jason and Raymond to the golden days of film, if you consider the 70s, 80s, and 90s to be golden. Tune in for laughs, debates, and a delightful blend of nostalgia and entertainment every week. Whether you're a seasoned cinephile or a curious newcomer, grab your popcorn and join us on a cross-generational cinematic adventure. Available on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Spotify, and all your favorite podcast directories. Hey everybody, this is your old pal Jim. What did you just hear? You heard about our new podcast, Film Flashback Face Off. Yes, you're probably wondering, what the hell happened to Destroy All Movies? Well, after 15 or so years of doing that show, we thought maybe we should change it up and try something a little different. So we kind of sunsetted Destroy All Movies, and now we have Film Flashback Face Off. Gonna throw another one at you with the Blue Thunder episode we did. If you like what you hear, you enjoyed Destroy All Movies, please go to your favorite podcast directory and subscribe to our new show, Film Flashback Face Off. Could be found everywhere. Apple Podcast, Spotify, the whole 9 yards. There will also be links to some of this in the show notes. Make it a little easier on you to subscribe. But we ask you to subscribe. If you like Destroy All Movies, support the new show. Basically the same personnel doing it. Shows are a little quicker. Nothing going over 45 minutes for the most part. So not a big time investment. But you'll want to invest more time because the show is pretty good, in my opinion. Maybe not yours, but please, if you like Destroy All Movies, go and subscribe. Now, coming up is our Blue Thunder episode, obviously, as I said before. Please enjoy, and I'll see you at Triple F. That's Film Flashback Face Off for those who don't know. That's the cool hip way of saying it. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome to whatever the name of this podcast is going to be. Welcome to Movies.
This is the show where we force Jay and Raymond to watch movies that we watched in our young adult lives. Basically the 70s, 80s, 90s.
So just think of like when TBS did movies for old guys. Now they're watching them.
Yeah. And they have never seen them prior to a little before this show. And this week, what are we doing?
Say it again.
Say that again where we can hear it.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder.
Roy Scheider has come out of the water and into a helicopter.
And into a helicopter. a very special helicopter.
Yeah. It's nose heavy though.
Yes. It is nosing.
Like Lee Iacocca.
In actuality, it was nose heavy because that was not a military helicopter that they created.
Oh no.
That wasn't a modified military helicopter. That was a modified helicopter.
Oh, okay.
And they hung all that crap off the front of it.
Yeah.
And it did and the stunt pilots did say it was real nose heavy.
Wow. So they had to add it to the movie. Like, man, this movie writes itself.
Yes, of course, Blue Thunder is, of course, a movie that was about the Astra division of the LA Police Department, where they fly around in helicopters.
What's your name?
What name? My name?
Oh, that's right. We never announced.
We never introduced ourselves, Carl.
Anyway, yeah, I'm Richie.
That's funny.
I'm Jim.
Go ahead, Carl.
What's your name, Carl?
Christ.
I'm Jason.
Well,
Ray.
Richie always goes.
I already said I'm Richie.
Richie, you already said
normally
I'm
it's
Richie.
Jim or Richie Jim, and then
Oh.
Carl, then Jay, then me.
Yeah, it
Sorry.
still goes in that order, Carl.
And Carl's cat.
That's right.
Listen
Soon to
this.
have an appearance or
What's your
Or-
cat's name?
Ricotta, like the cheese.
Ah.
so you'll know Ricotta has made an appearance when Carl screams after he gets clawed.
He's sleeping right here.
So Blue Thunder. Frank Murphy is a courageous and honorable Los Angeles police officer who is chosen to test run Blue Thunder, a high-tech experimental attack helicopter. While flying Blue Thunder, Murphy and his partner discover that the government intends to use the helicopter for corrupt crowd control and surveillance. Rated R for action and drama.
Isn't Frank Murphy RoboCop also?
He was Murphy.
Definitely Murphy. Yeah.
I don't know if it was Frank.
I don't think it was Frank.
Look it up, Carl. You got a
Look
Google
it up,
machine.
Carl. That's right.
Use one of your 6 computers you're using to do the show.
So, of course, Blue Thunder it came out in May of 1983.
Alex Murphy.
Alex.
Alex. So, May of 1983 is when Blue Thunder made its premiere. It was directed by John Badham, written by Dan O'Bannon. I know that guy. He was responsible for other science fiction stuff.
Badham directed a bunch of movies. John Badham directed a bunch.
Yeah.
Like-
And
Like
starred Roy Scheider.
and a very young.
Mhm.
A very young Daniel Stern. And of course,
You guys would know him from Home Alone.
I knew who he was. And Bushwhacked.
And Rookie of the Year.
where we would say City Slickers.
City Slickers.
Slickers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I love City Slickers.
And this also starred Malcolm McDowell as the
Mhm.
evil colonel.
right.
Clockwork Orange.
And Warren Oates, of course, is the crusty police captain.
He was the best. He had the best liners in this movie.
Yeah. My
Mhm.
favorite line, I'm just gonna pop it out right now. My favorite line is that fake radio bullshit went out 5 minutes after Marconi invented the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I don't know if I could sit down because the commissioner's got done chewing out my ass, and he's
And he breaks the pencil.
And there's a moral. I like morals. That is, when you're walking on eggs, don't hop.
He had good liners in that movie. He had
Yeah.
some of the best writing.
So let's get our initial reactions from Raymond and Jason.
Go ahead, Ray.
Oh, you want me to go first? Oh boy.
You have notes on this one too? He does.
Oh my God, he does have notes.
Wow. No way.
I tried, dude. It was a struggle to even get notes on this movie, I feel like. So I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, okay, this maybe has a potential. Like, is it gonna be some military aircraft thing? Is it gonna be or like against Russia? Is it gonna be like a spy? Like I don't know where it's gonna be just based on the picture of the movie. And it starts in their police. And I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe they're gonna upgrade and it's gonna be like an AI type thing. But I gotta remember this is 1983. Like I
Yep.
think I had my expectations way high on this movie originally, and it became a little less than I was expecting, just because obviously the time that technology was different. But it was just weird. Like I thought the plot just really kind of didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Right, it didn't make
Like,
sense.
Why are they going to this cop and giving him this multi-million-dollar murder machine for crowd control?
Yeah.
I found myself asking a lot of questions and saying why.
Yeah.
I was like, so this helicopter belongs in like Escape from New York or like
Yes.
some sort of
Yeah.
like, like a Mad Max type of movie, not to control crowds in Los Angeles with a minigun attached to it.
During the Olympics.
Yeah.
During the Olympics.
Yeah.
Fly that thing
And it's-
over and shoot people.
And it's not 100% Like even in that like demonstration, they were blowing away little kids.
Oh, but hey, for
Tons of
American
them.
Other
bad
white
guys, we might
targets.
kill one civilian.
One
So that's-
civilian.
Those are
It's
pretty good
unacceptable.
odds.
That,
Those strafe
I'd
running.
go with those odds though. Like
Why
if
is
I was,
why?
I
Yeah.
would green light that. With
It's
those
just
odds.
odd.
Yeah, like when the dude says, "Oh, this isn't a strafing run. This the thing picks its targets carefully," and
Yeah.
it
Whatever you're looking at.
Yeah, just-
basically strafed everything.
Yeah, I didn't understand that they made Los Angeles seems like obviously I was like, so they have an Apache helicopter basically for the police force for what?
Yeah.
Like
The Olympics.
I couldn't understand
For the 84
Why?
Olympics.
Why do you need the Gatling gun?
But you're
This whole
right.
movie
but
didn't
you're,
make any
but You're
sense.
right.
No.
But you're right. What
Um,
did they need the police to fly it around for?
I don't know. It just I think it was because it was cool at the time and they're like, let's make a movie about how cool helicopters are. Or there's no real good helicopter movies. Top Gun's killing it. That's fighter jets. This is what about helicopters? Let's make a fucking movie.
The whole movie was made so they can have that shot of Blue Thunder ripped off from Apocalypse Now. That's all it was.
No, they made the whole movie so he could do a loop-de-loop,
Yes,
kind of like how Top Gun does the inverted plane.
Yes,
That was like the
yes.
whole point of the end of the
But-
movie.
when they were
What
showing
Apocalypse?
when they were showing the
When
helicopter.
the helicopter comes
flying
in
behind
and the
the
smoke
sun.
curls around
Yeah,
in the
that
sun.
was a complete rip off from Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah, when they're dropping the napalm and it like goes around the wings, makes the angel.
Well, not
wings
just
or
that,
whatever.
but like when
Yeah.
when he was coming, when they introduced him and he was had the sun behind him.
Yeah,
That was a very
That wasn't smoke. That was smog.
what I thought was interesting too is at the very beginning of the movie, it gives you this excerpt like every weapon used in this is in use in the United States military. Like this is a
Yes.
real
Was it a flex?
technology.
It says it's all
It's
real
like a real technology,
I'm
yeah.
saying, bullshit it is. That helicopter is whisper quiet. There ain't
Yeah,
no
that was the only one I
helicopters.
was questioning. I was like, whisper mode. I'm like, I don't think that's a real thing. I don't know. Maybe there is. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't
I'm not a
think you
military
pick
guy.
up- I don't think you
So-
pick up audio that good either. Like the audio and like
Yeah, I was
video,
thinking about
but
that.
when you
Like,
start in the
Especially where the
microphones, come on.
mics were.
Mm-hmm.
Right under
Right
the
next to the
rotor blades.
rotors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they zoomed in video on that girl's boobs. So I'm like,
Okay, I was like, the whole point of this movie is for them to be pervs. Like, there's like checking
Oh, yeah.
checks out constantly. Even when his girlfriend's dumpster
I
diving,
know.
her skirt blows up. He starts like,
I
he's like
never
laughing at
remember.
her.
I'm telling you, when I rewatched this movie, I didn't remember how problematic all those scenes are. Like,
Dude, she's a nightmare. Did you see how she drove against traffic? She is a crazy driver, and he's just as bad leaving work.
but the
every day,
thing is, they say,
dragging
well,
in.
oh, people don't like helicopters flying overhead. No shit. Because
Or spying on people.
every example you showed with the good guys of the movie is them doing things they should not
Yeah.
be doing.
yeah, the chick's doing naked
yoga.
and they're right outside her house, and it's like. And the neighbors are like complaining, "Oh, there's a helicopter hovering over our neighborhood." But this girl's just like, "Oh, hey, I don't care." It's like, and every night at 10 o'clock it happens. So
10:30.
like, yeah, 10:30, whatever.
Richie knows.
It's just so it's stupid. They make the main characters kind of seem like a bunch of sleazebags.
Yeah, they were
So-
sleazy. They're like looking down the prostitute shirt and listening to the John
And
trying to pick
he's
her
like
up.
pawing at the screen.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
please.
Oh,
Or-
please.
So
Dude, men were extra horny before the internet. Like,
Yeah.
So if they
or
were-
find their-
like-
go ahead.
if they were trying to do crowd control, couldn't they have just gotten a helicopter from like the Vietnam era with the gun on it,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the door open? Would have made
Yeah,
the
like
same.
just gas canisters, you know?
Uh,
It
yeah.
would have just been. It would have made the same difference.
How about this? Another big point is why did they pick him to be this helicopter pilot?
Well,
That's some
because
military hardcore.
because one, he's ex-military, so he. But the second thing is because his captain had to hide him, so they chose. That's why he chose him.
Still
for
doesn't make
that
any
assignment.
sense. Like, why that? And then why did the bad guy try to kill him right off the bat by loosening that bolt? Like, that's attempted murder.
Seriously.
The other dude, and then crashing out. Dude, the mass like the civilian casualties in this movie is probably
insane.
astronomical. Because at the end of the movie, he goes ham. He takes out his own police, like friends, knocks them out. They don't die, right? But dude, he lures a heat-seeking missile to a Korean barbecue to blow that up, and then
Amos is
fucking
like,
blows up another
But
tower
the thing is-
using the sun to
Oh,
to
can you
direct
tell
the
me
heat.
Why
This
did
heat-seeking
those
missile? He's using the
people?
glare.
Why did those people run out of that barbecue place?
they never said that. I was just gonna bring that up.
There
Yeah, how did
there
they
was
know
no reason for
fucking
them to panic and
Missiles
run out,
flying at them, and
other than
He didn't give a shit.
we don't want them blowing up.
he
It's-
cut a car in
Also
half. He
implied-
crashed 2 other helicopters. He shot down an F-16. He caused so much damage.
They made the
and he's like the good
F-16
guy.
pilots look like retards. I was just like, these are F-18 pilots, and like he's shooting them down because like this shit would
Oh,
never,
right.
ever happen.
No, like it's
No.
so
Like,
unbelievable. This movie,
F-16 pilots are like elite, man. You can't.
the
you're telling
best of
me-
the best.
Yeah. I was like,
No, you got the two stupidest F-16
they were
pilots.
both dumb. Yeah. Oh, I got him now,
Just-
Cookie. It's like what the
Cookie, what a
fuck?
terrible call
Dude.
sign.
I got him now.
Cookie.
Oh, I accidentally took out the side of an office building.
Yeah, with probably people at work with a missile
Well,
using
when-
the glare of the sun to
And it was
direct the
raining
heat.
debris all over.
everywhere.
Yeah,
And when the two helicopters were going at it, he was shooting up an apartment building,
Yeah.
just waiting. He's like, they're
He
gonna
was-
end up tearing it down.
He
Anyway.
took out 2 other helicopters, multiple police units. However, that canal chase scene was pretty dope when they're ducking underneath the bridges. I thought
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool.
There's some cool chase
That's
scenes in that
called the-
one
That's
motorcycle
called the
guy
LA
sliding.
River.
Yeah, the LA River. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
where they like. That's
and
it's a
I dig
famous.
the moment when the cops got his girlfriend pulled over and Blue Thunder just rises up on the bridge.
And what about hiding all that sensitive material in a dumpster? Like, you don't think that somebody would have picked up that trash and just lost all the sensitive material?
He said he didn't think they were picking it up until Monday.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
Didn't
I did
you
miss that
hear
part.
his message to Murphy?
And that's how we found out, and he's let him know what Jaffo stood for.
Oh, and there's
and how they made sure you knew that the tape could not be erased unless it was in that case.
In that case, yeah, at the end when
So why
she finally
didn't-
gets it to the news
And
station.
so why didn't Lyman Good, instead of changing
out
the
of the
code,
case.
just take the tape out of the case?
You're right. That's
He'd still
fucking
be
funny.
alive.
There's so many unanswered questions in this movie.
Yeah,
You're just
like
as I'm saying, you ask yourself why constantly. It's like why?
How
is this
did that
happening?
gate stop
How?
just because
Why?
a brick was laying there?
Yeah.
no, why
was
park
a-
this helicopter in front of a moving train to destroy the evidence?
He just
And,
like walks
at
through all
the end,
cool and it's
he
like
walks
over.
away.
Hell yeah.
It caused another major disaster,
And then,
probably.
and then the news is like going over what happened, and they're like,
They didn't
He's
say
like
anything about
exonerated.
it.
"Up next, the weather," and it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like,
Dude, this guy just
Coming
blew up an
next-
F-16 with a helicopter,
That's
blew up
right.
a tower, crashed the thing.
right. Coming up next, the weather.
it's
No,
just
no,
No
what the
sense.
fuck?
Coming up next, the weather. We won't tell you about the engineer who just lost his life by trampling
Yeah.
a
Or
military-
the hundreds of people that were dead in the building that got hit by a missile, and
Yeah.
the barbecue joint that just got flattened because it's just like what is
And wherever that plane landed
yeah
didn't show.
Yeah,
yeah
dude,
and,
the
then
whole movie just didn't make sense.
and after he shot down that
Sitting.
first F-16 fighter, he was like, "Oh, good, he got in his parachute." But it's like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah, he sees him
like,
landing. Like, you
Like
just
you
destroyed
didn't
a
give a
$35
shit.
million
It's not like you were
responsible for
aiming
so
for
many
his
deaths.
wing. You were just shooting in his general direction.
And there was no and there was also no point of that 30-second thing all the time.
No,
Oh yeah, his
Oh,
watch
of him
thing.
trying to like just get him cool and just
Yeah.
relax and breathe. Yeah, this Casio watch.
Yeah.
I think that was just honestly, I think that was his market placement for Casio back in the day. I honestly think that there was no point.
yeah, there was no
Mm-hmm.
point for that shit.
They probably
So it's
paid
like-
part of the budget.
So him driving through those cones like a maniac trained him to get out of the helicopter in time before the train.
For
hit it.
train
Like,
hits.
There was
We had
no
plenty of
connection.
time.
There was no connection
None.
between that at all.
He could have
That-
taken the time it took to set his watch and press the button to actually get out of the thing.
Yeah, but driving like a maniac through cones and unstrapping yourself out of a helicopter, you just crashed onto a train track and an oncoming train. It makes there's no like connection between the two.
Yeah.
So I have two other big plot holes, and it's
That watch technology.
two?
I got a couple plot holes. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so what was the whole point of them taking up political, like adversaries, and then why train this cop that you already have? Like, I'm talking for the bad guy's perspective. Why would I give somebody I don't like and I know might have I have it out for access to this super spy helicopter and then go talk about it with a bunch of other people, the conspiracy to kill him and knowing he's probably listening? I just don't think that was very smart. And like, why are they even trying to kill all these political adversaries? There's no point of their like the bad guys' motives. I didn't understand any of the bad guys' motives
No,
at all.
I didn't get it either.
It didn't make any
Just-
sense.
Just postpone the flight.
Well,
You know, like they didn't have, like you said, they didn't have to let him fly it. They said, "Oh, that guy? No, okay, we want a different candidate."
Yeah, like
and then
why
that-
why pick him?
Yeah.
Made no sense.
And then that sleazy guy in the beginning with that they thought was abandoned car, he just kept showing up everywhere. The one who, the
Yeah,
guy who-
what happened to that guy?
Mhm.
yeah,
And
he
he's
just
like in the
kept
most
showing up.
noticeable abandoned car.
the
They're
guy
the
that
big brown
plays a
spot. It's
villain
like super
in every
identifiable.
single movie he's ever been in.
Wasn't he in? He was also in Beat It.
Yeah, he was. He was in. That's right.
Eat it.
Wasn't
Wow.
he in the video?
Yeah, he was in the video.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah, he has that look, I guess. He
And
reminded me of like
he,
No
and
Country
he,
for Old Men.
he was always in like TV shows, and he was always a villain in every
Yeah.
TV. Every
Looks like a
Well,
villain.
You when you have pockmarked face, you're
Yeah,
you're,
you're a
you're
villain.
typecast.
He's one of the guy in the white jacket.
Yeah, he's the bad guy driving the car. It has like the
Oh.
dimpled chin and the long stringy hair. The hitman that just disappears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
know,
He
and he's in the most
always plays
not.
like a pimp.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, plays like a pimp or shit like that.
Yeah,
Like
so
he was-
why would they
he
give?
was probably on Barney Miller?
And you're telling me in the car he was,
Car was so
in the
noticeable.
in the car he was driving, where obviously he was wearing no restraint whatsoever, and then he crashes head first enough to do that kind of damage to that car, it would have thrown him through the windshield.
Yeah.
Right.
He just walks away.
And he like backs up and keeps going after Lyman Good.
Which is a cool name, by the way. I was thinking, I'm like, that's an interesting character's name, Lyman Good.
Mm-hmm.
So different. And then the last one,
The biggest pull out of this movie. He was like, "This is a good name, Lyman Good."
yeah, Lyman Good. But no, some of the action was so positives. I'll talk about positives. Like some of the action scenes were pretty dope. Like you saw that one cop car in half, the one other helicopter crashed in the LA River, and they're going underneath. Some pretty cool action scenes, I thought. It was just like all of a sudden out of nowhere, there's all this like chaos in the city. And I just don't understand when they're looking for him. This is my last point. They have this whole manhunt from him, but he's able to just stroll right in and get in the cockpit of that helicopter and fly away with it. Like nobody's watching that thing. Like he just strolls right into a military base.
It
This
wasn't
advanced
on a
It
helicopter.
wasn't. It wasn't on a military base. It was
Oh,
on.
where
the,
was it?
It was,
It was
on
at
the, still on
the-
the roof of the cop
It was at the cop building.
cop building. Still on
But
the
they
roof.
so all the cops are looking for him, and he just walked right into the cop building. It's even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like to have an APB on him, and he's able to
Hey,
stroll
you
right
look
into
like
work.
Murphy. No, I don't.
I was constantly asking myself what was the point of the helicopter being there? This helicopter's in the wrong type of movie. Period.
It should be like like
Spy.
against Russia's or China's
Yeah,
like
this could have
newest
been, like,
thing.
A spy because it goes quiet. You can
Yeah.
It has infrared. You can hear everything. I just did not understand the premise of this movie. I was like it just seems so out of place. The acting was pretty horrendous, but there were a lot of good one-liners. But yeah, I mean, it was like it reminded me kind of like of like War Games a little bit. But yeah, it was just a weird ass movie, man. I don't know who thought of this plot. It was like they were just throwing shit against the wall and we need a movie about a helicopter. What do you guys got? That's what I feel like the movie studio did.
Actually, it was probably the other way around. So it was like, "Hey, I got this really cool helicopter movie." You're kidding.
It
Yeah.
seems like a made-for-TV movie, like a
Well,
TBS
back
movie.
then,
that's just on the
studios.
background.
Back then, studios. There wasn't like a lot going on back in '83 where everybody's
Right.
like, you brought Blue Thunder. Like this is state of the art. This is gonna be
Well,
amazing.
yeah, I figured.
Well,
it would-
actually doubled its money. It was only 20 million, and it went up to like 40 million.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure back then that movie was like super high tech because then the year after that, Terminator 1 came out, and it's like, yeah, I'm sure that sure that
Yeah.
movie was super high tech for its time, and
they pitch Roy Scheider like, so you're a cop and you're gonna fly a helicopter. What's the point? It doesn't. Don't worry about
Well,
that.
Roy Scheider's career, he went from being on the beach
Right.
and fighting a shark
Right.
to getting up in a helicopter and flying around LA shooting things, and then going undersea in Seaview or Sequest, I think it was called.
SVU or whatever.
Yeah.
SVC or whatever.
But
Wasn't
yeah,
he in-
Sequest was dope.
Wasn't he in Towering Inferno as well?
No, Gene
No?
Hackman.
Oh, Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
was it, right.
Towering Inferno.
yeah, but if you think about it, this movie had like everything you could ever want. It has action, nudity, cool
Yeah.
tech gizmos. The helicopter's badass. You know, it was for the time.
Mhm.
Evil guy with a British accent. It had it all. You know what I mean?
Catch you later. What was it?
Oh,
Catch
yeah.
you later?
Yeah,
Yeah.
after he kills him.
Catch
you
later.
later.
Is that what he
Catch
said?
you later and shoots
Yeah.
that, and then after he does
Catch you later.
the legendary impossible flip.
After he got
helicopter.
shot
Yeah.
in the arm
In the
by
arm.
either 25 millimeter or even a 50 cal bullet.
I love
Yeah,
love
he's
the,
still alive.
no one caught on that when they were doing the test, the guy with
The
the
initial
microphone.
test?
The initial test early in the movie,
The sergeant who was
the sergeant has the mic and he's like, it is equipped with blah 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 steel so thick that nothing can but there's glass everywhere.
yeah.
So
That's true.
I can break it with a rock.
And the whole thing is in a glass case.
I could throw a rock really hard at it.
Yeah.
That is,
I'll
that
break it.
cockpit had a lot of window.
There's all- Listen, but where there is that metal, it's really, really tough to penetrate it. Hey, what about the glass? No, it's just regular glass.
No, this is
That's
regular.
right. No, it's the special
keep it
glass.
light.
It's called plexi.
Yeah.
Plexiglass.
No, we put tint on it. You're good.
I just thought it was so funny how, like, when he's, you know, doing his thing, trying to get the information or his girlfriend's information or the info to the news station, and you know, he takes out the police helicopters with the guys with the machine guns, and then it like upgrades to the jets. He takes out the F-16s, and it's like, oh yeah, the British bad guy. I got my own helicopter, and I'm going after him now. But
Yeah,
that
he called it
was-
a favor.
he became closest to, of course, bringing him down, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, clearly the F-16s would have ended it.
They
A
wouldn't
while
even
ago.
had to have gotten
Yeah,
into his
one would've
gun
went.
range.
No, they could have been so far away. And
It's so
that's-
crazy.
I was gonna say, Real Genius made more sense than this. The plot of Real Genius.
Oh, that was a good movie though. I like that movie. The guy living in the basement
Well-
underneath them. They had no clue.
Well,
That's no
according
Holyfield.
to Wikipedia, you can actually see the Blue Thunder helicopter in all of its rundown glory at the Disney Studio Backlot Tour
Wow.
in Florida.
I was just sitting out there.
The gun emplacement is gone. There is no gun on it, and it looks pretty old. There's a picture of it on the Wikipedia article.
I'm going to Disney World next year. I'm totally gonna go check it out.
Yeah, dude.
You're like,
it
I
kind
stepped in
of
that
looks like the
goddamn
same
booth.
same shape as the ship from Flight of the Navigator. I saw that, and you can see it was made out of plywood.
Oh, yeah.
And when I saw it on the back lot, it wasn't even silver. They didn't even paint it silver. It was
Nice.
wood.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna take a picture in front of it, and I'm gonna the caption's gonna say why. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's the best way to describe this movie. Why? It's
Where
full of
did
whys.
you
That's
guys
all
watch
is.
it?
I watched it on Amazon today.
I watched it at home, but it was free on YouTube, just like standard YouTube.
Oh,
It was.
Yeah,
there
that's
commercials?
where I
I
watched it.
looked
There was
on
commercials, but they
YouTube
showed-
first,
they
but I
showed-
didn't see any of it.
Yeah, they showed
couldn't find it.
commercials every about 30 minutes, but yeah, they showed all the nudity.
Uh,
And
I
Yeah.
rented it on
Yeah,
Apple
it is
TV
every-
Plus.
Yeah, I wasn't,
got it
paying a
on
dime. I
Tubi.
wasn't paying a dime for this movie.
Yeah, I saw those on YouTube.
I used to own it. On,
I know.
on
I remember.
DVD.
I remember.
So let's give our opinions
Mhm.
of this movie. Richie, keep or delete? Is this something you would ever? Do you feel different watching this movie now as you did back when you watched it
100%.
originally?
100%. I don't need to see Blue Thunder anymore. If it was on and I was flipping, I would keep flipping to find Shawshank. I was watching it and I was just like, what is the point of this movie? Like, why did we like it?
I agree. I watched it again. I said, I said, oh, this is actually really creepy.
Yeah.
With the perv stuff. And then it was a whole lot less cool than I remember it being.
Yeah. I didn't care about the creepy part because that's what movies were back then. So
I mean, this was over the top creepy.
Yes.
Yeah, it kept happening.
With
Like,
him
one time, maybe at the beginning,
the
sure.
monitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree there. But like I didn't care. I just didn't understand like why I thought this was a good movie when I was younger.
The boobs.
No,
again-
it wasn't the boobs. I think
No,
it
it was
was
the
because
helicopter.
we thought the helicopter looked cool. That
Yeah,
was
right.
it.
But
Yep.
it's a lot of it is just normal tech that you would see today, especially like the head tracking thing and the
Yeah.
nothing was a wow. The only thing that was kind of like, oh, that's
Well, it was a
interesting is the
wow
whisper
then.
mode.
But,
Yeah,
but
back then was
again,
wow.
the head tracking
probably
thing
why.
was wow at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But this goes back to what I talked about with the other movie. Like that, it's what was out.
Right.
we were like-
There's nothing else to watch.
Like they didn't have like 10,000 things to choose from. Like
Touche.
Blue Thunder was out, so we were like, oh, there's a helicopter.
Let's go
movie.
see Blue Thunder. It's a cool helicopter movie.
Yeah.
How about you, Carl?
Well, I'm kind of with Rich. I'll take you back to when I was probably 13. It hit HBO, and a young Carl would always flip through the guide and look for the N for nudity. And
So you
and
watched
so-
it specifically for tits. Good for you, Carl.
You should
I watched
Google
it.
that girl now, what she looks like. Probably be like,
That's how I've watched a lot of movies.
Well,
Because the N, I'd set the VCR for the middle of the night and have gold in the morning. And then I watched it a bunch of times and I thought it was pretty cool. But now, yeah, you guys are right. The helicopter's pretty cool
yeah. So
though. And the
So
stunt guys, the pilots,
yeah.
those guys are good, man.
oh, that one
Yeah, no.
motorcycle cop that goes sliding and bangs into his motorcycle. That stunt was pretty cool.
Ray brought up a very good point about some of the cool, like these were one and done stunts. Like whatever they captured, that was it. They didn't have the budget to do it again. You were getting to saw one
Well,
cop car in half.
Yeah.
This film had a budget of $22 million at the
Yeah.
time. And it
Pretty
raked
good.
in $42 million and change.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Yeah,
a huge
so it was a
success.
profit.
for
Yeah,
the
this
day.
was the 13th highest rated film in 1983.
Wow.
Right behind Risky Business.
Wow.
Wow.
It's between Risky Business and Flashdance.
Ooh.
Really?
It's actually kind
Well,
of impressive.
That's
This
impressive.
got a 78% positive on Rotten Tomatoes.
Crazy.
Yeah, like it got
Wow.
pretty good reviews. I was looking at it
Yeah.
online. But it's a
Yeah,
terrible
a
movie.
somewhat erratic thriller that improves steadily as it progresses. That's one blurb. In terms of kinetic urban action in the air, it's quite literally a perfect vehicle for Royce Scheider.
I
Remember
think
that?
people just
Ma-
today we just want like higher plot. We pay more attention to plot.
It makes sense because out of all the movies that came out in 1983, this was the only one that was like this, with like a high tech piece of military
Action.
equipment or
Yeah.
action. Because you had Return of the Jedi, obviously sci-fi, but you had like War Games, Scarface, Octopussy, Risky Business, Flashdance, Trading Places, A Christmas Story, The Right Stuff. You didn't have anything like this. This
Right.
was a
like modern
standalone.
military, like
Exactly. So
technology,
that's probably why it was so
advanced
popular.
tech.
Makes sense now.
Good movies there.
Yeah, but you're right, Jay. It's like a believable future tech movie.
Yeah.
Like nothing else had that. Like, everything was
what's-
either too sci-fi
What's
or
also
too grounded.
what's also interesting is Blue Thunder holds the distinction of having a spin-off TV series that came
Mhm.
out after the movie that
Oh.
failed miserably on television, but spawned a look-alike show called Airwolf,
Airwolf.
which was very successful and one of my favorite shows at the time.
That's a dope name, Airwolf.
Oh, Airwolves, and that helicopter was more badass than Blue Thunder.
Airwolf is
Because
cool.
all of Airwolf's weaponry was concealed.
Oh yeah, it's like a
And-
slick
and-
looking helicopter.
yeah,
It's like
and
more like
then
a luxury helicopter.
Yeah, and then all the weaponry pops out.
Yeah.
Cool.
The show was terribly written, but man,
Yeah, I love I loved Airwolf.
if you liked Knight Rider with the car,
Yeah, it was basically Knight Riding.
it was
So
fun.
I think it's unanimous. We all think this
Yeah.
movie does not
Hold up. It doesn't hold up.
doesn't hold up at all.
No, no.
I'll never watch it again.
Never.
We finally found
Yeah.
a movie. Fucking Jay's like, there's no way.
Oh man,
There's
it
no
just-
way I
well,
could
it just
ever
didn't make
watch
any
it.
sense.
Jay's like, once I was done watching that, I had to go watch North Shore.
Yeah, yeah.
He wanted to go watch it.
Yeah.
I'm all about like I get these movies, especially from like the '80s, early '80s. They're all
Right.
I have a very open mind to them because I understand like
They're one note. It's
there
the
was
one
things that
thing.
were hot
yeah.
back then, you know that.
Right.
But this one just I have just no idea. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Why this question is why this the one.
Yeah.
Why was to see that
You
cool
nailed it.
helicopter flying around?
Yeah.
That's what. That's basically
Yeah,
it.
we built this helicopter in a movie studio. We had like 5 movies that it fell through with. We need to put it in something. What do you guys
Yeah.
got? That's what happened at the movie studio. Was that little boy like his son or like his girlfriend's?
Yeah.
son? Like they never. He
I
was
thought they were
there,
gonna break up. I
but
thought they were breaking up at the beginning of the movie.
They never acknowledged who that kid was. Like once he had one line, "Hey, can I see your watch?" That's it.
Obviously, it's her kid.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if he was the dad. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to know if that was like his stepkid or his girlfriend. Be like, oh
I
yeah,
don't think so.
They could have referenced the
Yeah,
kid.
I don't think so. I think it was just her kid.
I mean, this whole movie didn't make sense. So you might as well go all the way with it.
Did you really want that backstory wedged in
I
there?
did, yeah, because it would have at least given me something besides how that helicopter arrived there in the first
Oh.
place. Absolutely.
No.
I need to know.
They didn't even explain the backstory of why they needed such a crazy ass helicopter there to begin with. Like they okay for them. They didn't even explain like, hey, this is why we're rolling this thing out.
Right, like
They
just
didn't
been terrorists. Well, they did reference Munich to the Munich Olympics where there's
Right.
those people that were captured, the Israelis. So maybe that's
Mhm.
why they
How would
thought
that helicopter have helped then?
because they could take out the terrorists only and maybe injure a couple
Yeah,
civilians. but you never know.
obviously, 1 for every 10.
Yeah.
Good ratio.
No, the whole point of the movie didn't make any
Again-
sense. There was no
again,
real
I'd greenlight
plot.
it.
It was just get Roy Scheider into a cool helicopter. That was the only plot of this movie. Nothing else worked.
Get David to come to me and be like,
I like plot points. I
yeah,
just like plot points.
we have this helicopter.
Throw something at me.
It's gonna take out innocent people. How many? 1 out of 10. I'm good with
Yeah.
it.
I mean, how innocent could they be?
Yeah. If they're taken out, really, then that's their fault for being there. That's the way I see it.
I watched it on Tubi, by the way, for free.
Oh, did
Nice.
you? All right. Well, that's Blue Thunder.
That's it.
And
Now what?
Blue bummer.
Blue bummer. Blue bummer. Yeah, that was a
popular
terrible
at the
movie.
time.
No,
Not
it
so
was
much anymore.
Super popular. Like
Yeah.
13th best movie in 1983. That's pretty good.
Yeah, people didn't really
Yeah,
even
it
care about
was,
plot or shit making sense back then.
It was very popular at the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
I think my dad took me and I was 10 years old. Seems a little inappropriate.
If I was a kid watching
Oh
that
man,
movie, I would have been into it. I'm not even gonna lie. But now, no.
Mm-mm.
Carl, your dad also let you drink beer at 10, so seeing some tits was no big deal.
You see Carl's list of videotapes with all the nude scenes from every movie that
He's
he
he's like the original Mr. Skin.
Oh yeah.
He goes, oh yeah, Logan's Run. There's the scene with the boobies.
I just don't leave the tapes in the cases.
That's right. He doesn't want them erased accidentally.
Yeah.
He
right.
breaks off those little tabs.
Breaks the tabs.
Yeah.
Boy.
For your kids, when you break off the little tab, it keeps you from re-recording over your videotape. It had a physical. It had a physical plastic piece that you would have to break off, and that would prevent recording.
Yep.
Well, I guess this is the end of us and Blue Thunder.
Nice.
We will never have to bring it up again.
Yes.
Blue Blunder.
But
Blue
I will
Blunder, Blue Bummer.
probably bring up Airwolf
Jesus.
again at
Blue
some point.
Blunder.
I'm sure you will.
I loved Airwolf. Terrible show, cool helicopter.
Yep.
Why Thunder?
Why Thunder?
You can find our website at damshow.co, damshow.co.
About it.
Yep, that's
Give us some
about it.
suggestions. Old movies that
Yes.
these young bucks have never
Yes.
seen.
I thought the next one was Rollerball, the original.
It is going to
Oh,
be
Rollerball.
Rollerball. The
Oh,
original
boy.
Rollerball. Not the
Oh.
original
How old is that?
Rollerball.
Is that older than this movie?
One,
Yeah.
it
Oh, yeah.
is. It is not a
is.
quick movie.
Let
me put it that
Okay, I'll power through it.
Plus,
God.
I'm not going to tell you anything about it. So, other than that, it's a little long. It's what
Oh
I'm saying.
shit.
Not the one with Rebecca
1975.
Romaine.
Huh? Not the one.
Not
with
the one with
Rebecca.
Rebecca Romaine.
No,
No.
definitely
And
not that
LL
one.
Cool
Yeah, this-
J. Come on.
This is
No,
a
the
2-hour
one with
movie.
James Caan that actually had a message.
Yeah.
It was a
Boy.
science fiction movie.
This is the
that,
guy from
Old Style that gave you something to think about.
the guy from The Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, James
Yeah.
Caan.
James Caan.
He plays
Yeah.
Jonathan E.
Jonathan E.
And of course, in the next episode, you will hear Richie's impressions of one character in Rollerball that he always enjoys doing.
That is true. We'll get
All right, well,
Oh yeah. All
that
right.
closed the book.
Rollerball it
closes
is.
the book on Blue Thunder episode.
That's it. I'm Richie.
I am Jim.
Carl.
Jason.
And Ray.
Good night.